this is my mother, this is my sister, this is my brother. The moment you put your hands on them, it's a wrap. I'm not going to the police. They're of no use anyway. I'm not going to my minister. I'm not going to pray because I'm going to lose my salvation today. And that's the way it was. Unfortunately, this brother made the mistake of doing that, and he's not around anymore. And I feel no remorse. Please understand me, I'm not a bad person, but he crossed the line. I'm very respectful of people's families. In fact, gang members in those days were such that if you had a fight with a rival gang member and his mother came up to you, Miss Brown came up to you and said, Philip, I hear you and Parnell gonna have a fight. I said, no, ma'am. I would lie. That's right, you lie. You don't tell an older lady you're gonna kill her son.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna hurt him.
Right.
Philip, look at me. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Did you? No, ma'am, nothing.
That's right.
Drunk as a skunk from some Thunderbird. That's another thing, respect. As soon as an old person comes, you stand up straight. Reeking of alcohol. Are you drunk? No, ma'am. With juicy fruit all over your breath. And you bring her packages up to her house. This is your enemy. Bring them up to the house, and she says she take out her little pocketbook and try to give you a quarter, and you say, no, ma'am, nothing, nothing. Well, God bless you, baby. And she don't know that tomorrow Daryl's going to get his ass whooped. Parnell's going to get hurt. This guy made the mistake of doing that. He's not around anymore. And I went to jail. I'll tell you that story later because it's very difficult for me.
Yeah.
But I learned Islam in jail. I was a Christian. And I learned the principles of black brotherhood. In those days, there weren't that many Puerto Ricans in jail. But black men taught me that this is how we roll. First of all, that guy is your brother. And I don't care what happens. You shut your mouth. You know, now we talk. I mean, we're somos chota. Everybody rats everybody out. In those days, it was like that. So in those days, the Nation of Islam had a whole philosophy and ideology called tricknology. Yakub, the white man, this and that and the other. It was incredibly fantastic and romantic and wrong. But you know something? When you saw black men standing with bow ties, 6'3", muscles behind their heads, all built up, Assalamu alaikum, brother, the respect that you had for them was unbelievable.
That's right.
So that was the first thing that affected me. So I come out of jail, I go to the last post, and I begin to do poetry based on the feeling of that. Out of our group came the National Black Theater. You see this young man right here?
Yeah.
He used to play drums in our place.
Right.
Right here. He taught me, he would never let me touch his djembe. But imagine, Nicky Giovanni came out of our law. Sun Ra came out of our law. Amiri Baraka would come out of our law. Pedro Pietri used to come out. Rap Brown used to come to our law. Stokely Carmichael came to the original Panther Party. We had a tremendous time. One person can make a difference. One person, one group can make a difference. From the last poets, because we got to finish this, right? From the last poets, a group of Puerto Ricans kept on coming to the political workshop that I was conducting, and they kept on saying, we're developing a group called La Sociedad de los Misucampos. They were members of Westbury, University of Westbury, Queens, CCNY in Brooklyn. And I told them, y'all must be crazy. Y'all not ready to really roll. Because I come out of jail. I don't know how many of you know ex-cons, but they are afraid of nothing but God. I had been through hell. And I said, are y'all ready for this? And I told Rap Brown, who's now in jail, I don't think that. He said, you got to go with them. God came to him. You got to go with them. And I said, they're not ready. I wanted armed struggle immediately. I come out of gangs. I do not believe in sitting and taking an ass whipping. It's not my field. I'm not about the South that way. So what happens is they kept on coming. Persistence is something that we all must understand. Persistence. If you stay long enough at it, you wear them down. They wore me down. And finally, Guy then came and Rap Brown took me and said, you got to go to Puerto Rico. You got to go Puerto Rican on us. You've been black long enough. You got to go Puerto Rican. And I took everything I learned from Harlem, from jail, and I brought it to the Puerto Rican community. They were in shock. They had never seen black Puerto Ricans head an organization, first of all. So we changed that whole Ricky Ricardo nonsense. You know that anytime you look at television, you don't see images of us. So we did that. But most important, is that for the first time in the history of our nation, here in New York, you had men and women telling the authorities, I will hurt you if you hurt us. You understand the difference? We're not saying we're going to negotiate with you. We're not saying we're saying we are going to hurt you if you hurt my mother, if you hurt the same thing we had on the streets. We did it institutionally. Of people who are not willing to die for anything are not fit to live.
That's right.
What are you willing to die for? And I will summarize this by saying every Puerto Rican in here, there is a renaissance going on that you're not even aware of. We are at the lowest point in our evolutionary life here in New York City. Don't talk about Dominicans, don't criticize Dominicans, don't criticize black folk, don't criticize white folks, don't criticize Asians, don't criticize Mexicans. Look at yourself. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to give up? In The Untouchables, Elliot Ness, Sean Connery tells Kevin Costner, what are you willing to die for? What are you willing to give? What are you willing to sacrifice? I now stand before you, two-time Emmy Award winner and all that bullshit.
That's good. That's good.
But it was not funny getting my head cracked. Don't believe that they're not watching every move I make. Don't believe they're not. They can't stop it.
That's right.
They can't stop revolution. They couldn't stop this guy. The CIA had tabs on him from Argentina. They couldn't stop him. When a people are ready to move, nothing, hell or high water. And if they believe that God is on their side. But you have to feel it. God didn't intend us to live like this.
That's right.
To live on welfare, to be drugged out, to have no jobs. That's not what God intended us to do.
Say it, sir.
Prosperity is part of our makeup.
That's right.
And I'm not trying to be T.D. Jakes here. I'm telling you what the deal is. We weren't supposed to be living like this. No teeth, obese, running around like this. No! This is not what Albizu Campos wanted for us.
Say it, sir.
But you've got to be willing to sacrifice. What are you willing to pay?
Well.
And men, women have done as much as they can. Brothers, let's pull up our pants and take care of business.
That's right.
Let's pull up our pants. It's time for us to do something. Puertorriqueños, ¿qué tú vas a hacer? Criticar a los dominicanos. No, Carlos, stop it. We have no businesses in East Harlem. Look at 3rd Avenue on a Friday. It's dead.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
There's nothing we can sell other than drugs.
Ridiculous.
We have the best food in the world.
That's right.
And we're not selling it. We're the best fashionistas in the world. And we're not selling it. We can take care of babies better than anybody. And we're not selling it. Something is wrong with us. We're so depressed and so dysfunctional that we don't understand how proud, how beautiful we are all over the world. And I'll end with this. You go to Japan and you say you're Puerto Rican. Oh, my God. You go to Iceland. Oh, are you Puerto Rican? Frankfurt, Hamburg, Zurich. I've been all to these places. They say, you're Puerto Rican? They see us in a different... You don't see yourselves in the right image.
Yeah.
But God didn't make no jump.
Right.
And I think we're the most beautiful people on the planet. And I think everybody's going to look like us in 2060 any damn way. They're going to look like us. Half straight, half nappy hair. Mulattoes.
Yeah.
You know what time it is. Start now to think, where do I want to be?
Yeah.
Start now to think of the revival.
Right.
Start now to think of the Renaissance. Let's begin to build this nation, because I say that which was forgotten and rejected will become the cornerstone.
Yeah.
Puerto Ricans in this town are the swing vote. Latinos in this nation are the swing vote. Obama will not win unless Puerto Ricans and Dominicans and Mexicans vote him in.
True.
That's the deal.
That's true.
He's not going to win without us.
That's right.
Charlie Rangel just won an incredible election.
Yeah.
Just won it. By the way, Adriano Espaillat, within 5 points.
That's
But
right.
you want to know something? Puerto Rican said, okay, Charlie, we'll give you another break.
One more.
And I hope that colored boy understands what time it is.
That's right.
And comes home. Okay?
man.
Time to let you go. I love you. Remember Renaissance and revival. God bless you.